So there are prerequisite of observer pattern. Mainly these are main concepts of object oriented programming. So we are not going to discuss all of them in detail, but only we will see. So we will revise. So what is class? I created, so this is a class, and under the hood class is a blueprint, or it's a code only which will be the part of our end product, and that can help us to create or to make objects. Object is a living copy of a kind of a class which is available inside of a memory. So if I want to create a object of this parent, so I will say okay, obj equal to parent. So once this code will execute, this will create an object, same copy of our parent, but that will be available in a heap, and the reference will be in a stack. So that is class and object. Now inheritance means I want some functionality which will be reused. So in that case, I'm going to make one class child, and I'm saying okay, you are going to inherit from the parent. So in this case, once I will do inherit, what I'm saying basically okay, I need to make this open. So in this case, I'm saying okay, child, you can reuse the functionality of a parent. So for example, I have a method fun do something, and this will do parent is doing something. So now how to reuse that functionality? I'm going to create a class child, and then I will say object dot do something. So that is the one benefit of inheritance. Second thing, I also want to do something after parent will complete its do something. So I will say override super dot do something will call the parents, and then after that I will say okay, child do something. Now in this case both are running, so that is an inheritance. Now next is polymorphism. So polymorphism means mainly a one method will execute multiple or different functionalities. Like I'm going to move this child 1, and now I have a one more class with name child 2, and I will say okay, child 2 child 1. Now in this case, when I will run for now I need to show you polymorphic behavior here. So in this case I will say okay, object, your type is a parent class. Parent means the base object, and then after that I'm giving you child 1. Now in this case, once I will say object dot do something, what will happen? It basically run the child 1. Now I'm going to change this to child 2, and now I will say object dot do something. So this is a polymorphic behavior, because one place it's saying as child 1, then it's saying child 2. So the same function is doing multiple, executing different functionalities. In this case, yeah, it's pretty easy because you can see we implemented this functionality. But for example, assume this is a third party method create, and you have no idea who is doing what. So in this case, I will say create, and then object do something. So for now, because we implemented, that's why we are aware of, but by implementing this, we have no idea what will happen. And this is saying, oh, child 1, and we can make this as a factory pattern. Okay, but that is a different topic. So coming back to this, so this is called polymorphic behavior. Once you have an inheritance, then you can achieve the polymorphic behavior. Without inheritance you can't. Okay, then next is the interface. So basically, in case of a Java or a Kotlin, it's that does not support multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means you can extend your class with multiple classes. Like in this case, child one is only inherited from a one class, and I have I can't extend this from two classes because Java does not support. So to achieve some kind of that, we have a concept of interface, and that is not only for that. We will see more uses of the interface. So I'm saying, okay, interface, you are my interface. I'm saying base and do something fun. So in this case, there are pros and cons. So in this case, I'm not able to implement any implementation of this method, but I'm saying, okay, parent, now you are extending from the Java, and then this, and then after that, what will happen now? I will say, okay, I'm allowed to say this also, base. So in this case, there is no difference. Still, parent is doing something, child one is doing something, but the power is now it's a base interface, and I can do any changes here. There will be no impact until I will change something here. And so by doing using interface, you are moving some parts as an independent, and they are abstract, so you need to implement in any case. So in this case, because we are overriding, because I need to implement, otherwise that code will not execute. So that is the one way how we achieve the abstraction, and this is interface. Now moving towards the callback. Callback is a really important concept. Instead, in my opinion, the observer pattern is callback. The philosophy of observer pattern is coming from the callback, and now we will see. So I will try to share with you the implementation of an observer pattern by implementing in two ways. One way, we will improve our callback uh, towards to the observer pattern, and another way, we will directly implement the observer pattern. So in this case, what is callback? So for example, here I need some help from you. So you need to divide yourself as a two developers. One is a developer one who is the SDK owner. Like you are writing an SDK, and there are millions of developers or companies who are going to use your SDK. So in that case, okay, I will make this remove, and we will go again to create. So as a SDK developer, I have some class which is saying uh, download image. For example, that is I'm responsible of this class. Now I wrote a method download image, and now because there are two ways to achieve this. One is I'm saying, okay, once I will download the image, I will return you the path of that image, and I'm doing some work here, and then after that I will return the path. So this is a one way. So in this case, now you are a developer who is using that SDK. So you only aware of, okay, there is a SDK which name is download image, and you are using this, and after that you are saying, okay, download image dot download. Maybe I can say image SDK, so name should not confused, and download image. To make more proper, maybe I can send the URL, but we are not interested in that for now. Okay, so as an SDK developer, I know once the image is downloaded, I will get the path of that image, and then, but this is a synchronous code. In this case, once the thread will start working, it will create this download image, then I will start downloading. It's still doing the same work on a same thread, and then I will get this in path, and then I will execute the next steps. But as we know, we have pretty powerful CPUs, multiple CPUs in some hardwares. We have threading power, so it's pretty bad if you are not using that power. So in that case, we can make this as a async. Now I'm moving back uh, as a SDK developer. So what I will say, okay, so how I can convey how I can download this image on a IO thread, and then once the downloading is complete, inform to the SDK users. So there is a one way. Okay, first I deleted this. Here I write network related code, IO code, and then now I want to inform to the our SDK users, SDK clients, and to at that now interface are a big amazing, like interface gave us a really powerful here. So now I'm going to make a contract. I'm saying okay, we have an interface, uh, download, and this has a method complete. Okay, so as an SDK developer, I'm creating a contract between SDK and those who are going to use this. And I'm saying here, okay, you need this. And my once my work is done from the SDK, I will say, okay, complete. Okay. Now, as a SDK user, I'm saying, okay, I want to do more stuff. I'm not going to wait here. So can SDK, can you tell me once you are done? And he's saying yes, I can. You need to give me an interface. And what will happen now? This is download and implement this. So this is callback. So in this case, what will happen, as this is a contract between the client and the SDK developer, and callback means as a client, I'm saying, hey, please download the image. I'm doing my more stuff, like I'm writing more code. But once the image is downloaded, please inform me. So in that case, SDK developer is saying, okay, I'm writing up an interface, the contract in between you and me. You are responsible to give me this interface. And once the work is done, I will inform you. And then once he will inform the SDK inform us, we will do our work here. So it means if this is going to be called, it's a code after the completion of a download. So that is called asynchronous, because in this way it's not a sync code. We moved thread and then we started here, so work is still there, but this code is now working on a different thread. So in that case, this is a callback. And in if you write code for any UI framework, most of the time the clickables, like for example button, they always give you this benefit. Okay, and this information, if if you are interested when button will click, please give us some kind of an interface, maybe on click listener or something like that. So that is called a callback. Now, in my opinion, the difference between or how to convert this. So, for example, I'm going with a dump use case, but hopefully you will understand this. I'm saying, okay, in our SDK, once we do the download image, there are multiple objects who are interested in this information, not only one, multiple objects. In that case, this callback only can take care of one uh, one object. So if I, for example, I call this, and we'll see download. So in that case, I can uh, I'm not saving this object directly, but to make sure to save from the memory leaks, we can do something like this, and I will say download, which is nullable equal to null, and anytime when user will give us fun set download listener. So in this case, now what is the change? I'm saying, okay, uh, I'm going to remove this. And if you are interested to, if you are interested in this, you can register with us, image SDK, set download, and I'm going to make this object like same this code. Still same, but in this case, before we are going to start this async work, we already asked to our clients, hey, if you are interested, you can do set download listener. And once set download register is better, just like, but it's okay. And then once this work is done, we will inform you. Same like if you ever use UI button, so you have a button dot set on click listener, then new on click listener, and then once the somewhere at some point button is clicked, event is happened, this will be called. So this is a one way how callback is used.